What's up? Your boy Domuto. We're back with another video today. We're watching Charlotte saying, "What if Vegeta stayed evil?" Part 8, and then we can watch the finale all together. So we can get into it. Make sure you let me know what's the next story you want me to watch, and yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and let go.
Who powers up to his maximum using Blue Kaioken. He's already seen what Jiren's power's like, so he's not going to hold.
Let me know y'all like this new setup.
The two begin their battle. In terms of where Goku stands, I feel like he'd just be relative to where he was at this point in the story normally. He's been consistently training, he got a little bit of different training from Vados as well, and even though the Zamasu stuff didn't happen for him to grow even further from, I feel like he's been doing more than enough to keep up. But let's say he's around the same level. And as great as that is, obviously that's not really going to do much against Jiren. Thankfully Goku's not fighting alone here. At first he was, and he even tries to use the Spirit Bomb against Jiren, falling into it and causing him to go Ultra Instinct. This really does help him at first, but Jiren showcases more power and is about to defeat him, nearly knocking Goku out of the ring, but somebody catches him. It's hit. Goku's about to drop out of Ultra Instinct because of a lack of power, but Gohan then comes along too, lending some energy to Goku. They have already lost some fighters. Vegeta's gone, and so is Caulifla Kale and Kaba. Krillin's probably knocked into the ring at this point too. Right now it's just Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, Hit, and Frost, who's just doing his own thing. Hit tells Goku that if they team up together, they might actually be able to take down Jiren, but he needs to tap into that same power again. Thankfully, he didn't take too bad of a beating from Jiren and he could jump back into the fight right away, and briefly, he does reactivate Ultra Instinct Doman. Hit's plan is to trap Jiren in a time cage, and when that happens, Goku needs to use all of his power to knock Jiren out. So the two of them spend some time fighting together, and then Hit activates this trump card. He uses all of his focus and energy to keep Jiren in place. But at the very last second, Jiren's able to break free from it. Goku keeps trying to fight him, but now Jiren's using more power. And even with Ultra Instinct, it's not going to be enough. Showing about half his full power, Jiren knocks out Goku and Hit simultaneously, with ease. Universe 6 only has 3 fighters left now: Gohan, Piccolo, and Frost. While that fight between Goku, Hit, and Jiren was going on, Piccolo and Gohan were actually taking on the rest of the Pride Troopers, getting rid of Toppo and Dispo, which is pretty good. Gohan is a bit concerned because it's just the 3 of them left, but they haven't lost their strongest fighter yet. They've actually
I'm all
been
up in
waiting for
people's
this.
faces. Hold on.
The only reason they kept it a secret for this long is because of Universe 7 being there. They thought Universe 7 would have stronger fighters, and to be fair, they didn't expect Broly to be there. Same for Granola, but there's no reason to hide this anymore. So you might have been wondering from the last part, why didn't they have the rest of the Universe 6 Namekians join the team? Why'd they get someone like Vegeta, or even Frost for that matter? Same for Krillin. I mean, either 3 of them could be replaced easily. The thing is, the Universe 6 Namekians are here. The next person to try and face Jiren is Piccolo. He doesn't really suspect much of Piccolo, but Piccolo begins to power up. He's trained under Vados, of course, and he's had his potential unlocked on Universe 6's Namek. Not to mention he fused with Kami, but also every other Universe 6 Namekian. He goes into his power awakened state.
Oh, so he's way stronger than them too.
This is the last resort for them. They only did this because they wanted some sort of trump card to guarantee the victory. Now with Goku and Hit out of the ring, Piccolo has to step up. They had all of Namek merged together, and then eventually merge into Piccolo, who was the strongest Namekian in Universe 6 at that point. It was kind of a gamble, but at the same time, Piccolo's already recreated a set of Dragon Balls on Earth. They're going to reverse this after the fact. But while they have it, Piccolo does want to enjoy this fight. He vanishes from sight and appears behind Jiren, catching him off guard with an attack. And Jiren can't believe it. Belmont's watching on surprise too. That must have been a fluke. There's no way he actually caught Jiren off guard like that. He'd have to be faster and more powerful than Jiren here. And sure, Jiren's holding back, but even at that point, he's stronger than everyone here. Not exactly. In Piccolo's power awakened state, he's actually far beyond Jiren right now. The two briefly battle, and Jiren realizes he's completely outmatched. So, he decides to go into his full power reluctantly, thinking that maybe this will let him beat Piccolo, but no, Piccolo's still got some more power locked away. Vados and Goku have seen it before. And Vados was really surprised to see Goku pull off Ultra Instinct. Whis was too. Even though Universe 7 was erased, as an angel, he's still obviously there, and he's impressed. He was hoping Goku would get that eventually, but didn't expect that to happen under his sister. But now he watches on curiously. He never did pay much attention to Piccolo. So Vados explains, even before merging with the entirety of Namek, he was pretty powerful, getting his power awakened, and then Goku butts in, saying he's gone even beyond that. Now, they've only seen Piccolo use that power individually and not with all the other Namekians. When he used that power individually, he still was pretty strong, but this is going to be a completely different level now that he has the entirety of Namek merged with him. So Piccolo transforms once more.
Yeah, okay, he's strong as fuck then.
And with this, he's able to beat Jiren,
he's strong as hell.
Out of the ring. There still are some other people in the ring too. Frost is actually one of the people still remaining, and they're worried that he might be able to get MVP because he did get a few eliminations. So Piccolo decides he's going to make really quick work of everyone else here, using his full power, knocking out as many people as possible, racking up a bunch more eliminations, taking out over a dozen people in a few seconds. Gohan did have his own fights going on, but he didn't knock anyone out of the ring, just so Piccolo could actually do that. So, the tournament ends. Universe 6 wins, and the only people left in the ring are Gohan, Piccolo, and Frost. Frost was hoping to get the Super Dragon Balls for himself, of course. Champa thought it was a pretty big risk to have him on the team in the first place, but didn't think he'd actually get that far. He was playing it pretty smart though, and without Frieza to antagonize him, he was level-headed as well. But Piccolo ends up becoming the MVP here, and he makes the same wish that Goku was going to make. He restores all the other universes erased by Zeno, which of course Zeno likes. That's what he wanted. Their main goal was to restore Universe 7, but why not restore everybody else in the process? That makes way more sense. So this is good. They got through the Tournament of Power, they got to break their limits, and they got to restore all the other universes. But still, that does raise one issue. They wanted to use the Super Dragon Balls to bring Earth back to Universe 7, and now they're going to have to wait another year. Honestly, Champa was a bit worried that they were going to wish for that, but then Vados reminds him that wouldn't make sense because Universe 7 was already erased. They couldn't have wished for that even if they wanted. Oh yeah, that makes sense. So it's not like that wish was something they would have even considered, at least during the tournament. They still want to go back to Universe 7. With all the universes restored, Beerus and Whis are back on their planet, and Beerus lets out a sigh of relief, glad that Goku actually won the tournament. But Whis lets him know that it wasn't Goku. Well, Goku actually did something interesting, unlocking Ultra Instinct. Beerus' jaw drops at hearing this, but Whis says there's more. There's someone stronger than him in that universe, Piccolo. Although it's probably temporary because, from the looks of it, they were going to reverse that right after the tournament. But once Earth is back in Universe 7, Beerus might have another strong rival, and it makes Beerus regret not being more persuasive to the Namekians. Shin did try to recruit them, but if Beerus were there, he could have been way more intimidating and gotten them to join. But it doesn't really matter, because even though they lost, they still came back here. And you know what? Beerus is starting to lose interest in Vegeta. He only took Vegeta on as a student under Whis reluctantly because, well, he was the strongest person at the time. But now that he knows about Broly and Granola, why not just have them as rivals in the meantime? It doesn't make sense to keep training Vegeta. So, he's banished from Beerus' planet.
Damn.
It takes him by surprise because he didn't think Beerus would just let him go that easily. He wants to stay there and train and grow a lot stronger, but he kind of expected this at some point. Although, it really annoys him that Beerus took Broly from him too, because Broly would have been a great asset for his army. By extension, Paragus also went too because Broly said they were a package deal. Not to mention, Broly and Paragus didn't really want to work under Vegeta anyways, so they instantly agreed to going to Beerus' planet. And yeah, Beerus knows that Paragus is kind of an ass and not a good guy, but still, better than Vegeta being here. And ironically, they even bond with Granola a bit because they equally hate the Saiyans, particularly Vegeta. Although Broly did see some other Saiyans in the tournament, and they didn't seem too bad, including some that were originally from Universe 7, Goku and Gohan.
Okay.
But now, Vegeta's left to his own devices. Really pissed off, in fact. He needs a new method to grow stronger, because even with Super Saiyan Blue, he's still behind. Goku was able to surpass him. He embarrassed him no less. But the time for Kakarot's death will come eventually. Let's go back to Universe 6. Piccolo's gonna go collect the Dragon Balls on Earth in order to restore everyone on Namek. Thankfully, the upgraded Shenron grants 3 wishes too, but he doesn't have anything else in mind at the moment. Although, he and Goku are wondering, even though they have to wait a year for the Super Dragon Balls to come back, is there another strong set of Dragon Balls in this universe that could send them back to Universe 7? It's a long shot, so probably not. For the time being, Goku goes back to Sadala. And this time there's someone there that's not typically there. It's Hit. Cabba, Caulifla, and Kale are watching. Cabba actually got in contact with Hit because Goku wanted to fight him again. And this is a really nice surprise for Goku. They say to consider it thanks for training them, and Hit agreed to it because, well, without the help of Universe 7's warriors, they wouldn't have been able to win here.
That's true.
Hit's not going to hold anything back though, and killing isn't off the table. Cabba has 2 Senzu beans with him just in case. So the two of them go all out. And this is a really fun
They got
fight for
Senzu
Goku
beans
because he
on
never got to
Universe.
see Hit
Oh,
fight
they
this
are. I
seriously.
forgot there.
Even during the Tournament of Power,
Earth.
he technically was still holding back a bit because he couldn't kill people, and even though that wouldn't have done anything against Jiren, still, he didn't get to see Hit's full strength. Although now, Goku has grown a ton after the tournament, and he tries to tap into Ultra Instinct again, but he can't really do it on command. He was surprised he pulled it off the second time during that tournament, and Hit was hoping to see it once more, but Goku doesn't even really need it. With Blue Kaioken, he's able to overpower Hit completely, beating him in this matchup. And while they're all together, they decide to ask Goku about Vegeta. They've heard about him before, but that tournament was the first time they saw him. Vegeta even did briefly show interest in the Universe 6 Saiyans, but that was when he was already eliminated. He had tunnel vision for defeating Kakarot right off the bat, so he didn't even acknowledge them right away. And they ask Goku, why hasn't he defeated Vegeta? Well, he and Gohan did defeat him before. He's immortal, so they can't kill him, but they sealed him away. He escaped somehow, and they wanted to find something more permanent, but there was never really anything that could do it. Theoretically, the Super Dragon Ball should be able to, but of course, their main priority is getting back to Universe 7, so the wish to remove Vegeta's immortality isn't as important just now. As far as Goku knows, no other set of Dragon Balls could actually do that. Well, either wish for that matter. But then it hits Goku. Wait a second. Telepathically, he communicates with Piccolo, asking if he's made the wish yet, and Piccolo says he only got 6 Dragon Balls so far. Goku's glad he caught him in time. He tells him to not make the wish. Goku then says goodbye to everyone, and not like a normal goodbye, but a goodbye like this might be the last time they see him in a while. He thanks them for everything. It was really fun coming here to Sadala. And he tells Cabba to say hi to the king for him, and Goku immediately goes back to Earth. Goku tells Piccolo what he's thinking of. Right now, even though it's temporary, Piccolo is still hugely powerful. And with all the Namekians merged within him, that means Shenron must be incredibly strong. And this didn't even occur to Piccolo. That type of power should be enough to actually send Earth back to Universe 7.
Oh yeah.
But even more than that, he's stronger than Vegeta at the moment, which means Shenron's stronger than Vegeta, and that wish can affect him. He's not sure if a wish like that would work across universes, but Piccolo's strength might be more than enough to actually do that. Even if it doesn't work, it's at least worth a shot. So they summon Shenron. The first wish, they ask Shenron to remove Vegeta's immortality. Shenron hesitates for a second and then says, the wish has been granted. They can't believe what they're hearing. That actually worked? So Piccolo makes a second wish. He asks for Earth and its inhabitants to be transported back to Universe 7. Shenron says that's another simple wish to make. And to their surprise, Earth is brought back to its original universe. It's a great thing Goku thought of that because now they just killed 2 birds with 1 stone. And now the final wish, Piccolo asks for his fusion to be reversed. Well, besides Kami and Nail. And Shenron grants the wish. All the Namekians and Piccolo are unfused from him and sent back to Universe 6. Of course, this immediately affects Shenron as well, and he starts glowing, then getting much weaker to compare to Piccolo's regular power. Shenron lets Piccolo know this, but he expected that to happen anyways. And then Shenron bids them farewell. Just like that, they got everything they wanted, and it's not like Piccolo had to keep the Namekians merged with them. That means now they could actually do it. They could fight Vegeta and finally kill him. They don't need to use any weird methods to work around his immortality or anything. Hopefully he doesn't realize it just yet. Right now, about a week has passed after the tournament in Power. Thankfully, Vegeta did have one more spot to train in, a place where time flows differently. The same place Frieza actually trained to become Black Frieza. So Vegeta immediately went there, and he got to work. So we don't know how time flows in the one that Frieza used, but let's assume it works like the regular time chamber on Earth. Even though Vegeta only had 5 or 6 days there, that would be 5 or 6 years of training constantly. And thanks to his immortality, he pushed himself to the limits. And it's not like he'd aged from this either. Not that it's really a concern for him as a Saiyan just yet. But now he's thinking ahead. Maybe he could use this room even further. He could use it endlessly, thanks to him being immortal. It's not like he'll die from old age or anything. But after exiting the time chamber, he feels a bit different. This is the time that Earth just got back, and the wish was made to reverse his immortality. The only reason he left the time chamber at this point is because he got an alert from his army. Someone's trying to attack them. Great. Another threat he has to handle, but he doesn't mind. He likes fighting after all. Moro has escaped the Galactic Control prison, and while flying to Namek, Vegeta's army found him out in space, which started a huge battle, so before he even got to Namek, he had to take them on first. But Vegeta arrives and then he just takes out Moro himself. Moro tries to steal some power from Vegeta, but Vegeta has no time to play games, and especially because he doesn't know what this guy's magic is capable of, he doesn't want to waste time trying to work around that. Physically, Moro's weak, and Vegeta doesn't care for those cowardly tactics he's using. So he kills Moro pretty quickly, although in that fight he did get injured a little bit. It wasn't anything major, like just a cut on his arm. He doesn't really pay it any mind, because by now he's been so used to pain that he doesn't even really feel it. But it doesn't heal. He looks down on it a few hours later. The cut is still there for some reason. Again, not too big of a concern for him. He thinks that he must have grown so strong by this point that his immortality doesn't even see that as a threat anymore. I mean, it's just a small cut. Before that would be adjusted right away. But maybe he's just adapted too much, and he simply laughs it off, not realizing that it's actually a sign of something far worse. And with that, we'll leave off here for now.
Shit.
What'd you guys think about this part? Vegeta stayed evil. Not too long after Earth is transported back to Universe 7, Beerus of course is going to notice. We sees that one day, a new planet appeared out of nowhere. Actually, not a new planet, the same planet from before. Beerus can't believe it. How'd they get back? They didn't even have the Super Dragon Balls. Looks like there's only one way to find out. They're going to be going to Earth regardless, but they also want to ask how that actually happened. They bring Granola and Broly along too because they're not just going to leave them here alone. Beerus still isn't sure if those two are going to end up killing each other one day. They seem to be on good terms though. Regardless, they come along to Earth. For the first time, Broly and Granola get to formally meet Goku. Goku's glad to see that Beerus noticed so quickly. They were going to try and find a way to contact him, but didn't have anything in mind. And Goku introduces himself to the other two. Of course, neither are fond of the Saiyans, but after seeing Goku in the tournament, they see that he's different from the other Saiyans. Plus, at the end of the day, he is Vegeta's enemy too, so they're pretty neutral on him right now. They also come to learn that he doesn't remember anything from when he was a kid. He was sent to Earth and grew up here basically the whole time. At least that leaves a better impression. Anyways, Beerus immediately brings Goku back to his planet and also drags Piccolo along too because he heard that he had a ton of power locked away. Well, Piccolo says he has gotten weaker since, but Goku butts in and says that right now, Piccolo's a little bit stronger than he is actually. He merged with all of Universe 6's Namek, and he was incredibly stronger than everyone else around them. But even now, his orange form seems pretty strong. Merging with Kami, training with Vados, getting that potential unlocked, it all really helped him out. So technically right now, he's number 1 in Universe 7 because of that. But Goku is quickly catching up. And Beerus tells them to fight. That'll be a good showcase of their power. Granola and Broly could watch too so they can get an idea of who they're working with here. Goku and Piccolo have a brief battle. Goku still can't tap into Ultra Instinct willingly yet, but he does have Blue Kaioken, which is pretty strong obviously. Although by going into his orange form, Piccolo is able to overwhelm him and wins this battle. Beerus is very impressed. Goku definitely hasn't been slacking off, and it's nice to see Piccolo growing strong too. He he'll start to keep an eye on him too. But right after their fight concludes, somebody shows up on Beerus's planet. Just as Beerus noticed Earth was back in Universe 7, Champa did too. And he's furious. He knows exactly what happened because Vado saw it in her staff. First, they saw the entirety of Namek repopulate, and they wanted to go to Earth to get some food, but it was gone. Then they found out that a wish was made to transport it back to Universe 7. Champa holds out a hand, threatening to destroy Goku and Piccolo. He can't believe they went behind his back like that, especially after those two trained with Vados. But Goku stands up for himself and says he didn't want to be sent to Universe 6 in the first place. They were just working with what they were given. But still, at the end of the day, Champa's a god of destruction. They shouldn't defy his orders. But Piccolo says at the same time, Beerus wanted them back. They did belong to his universe originally, so technically, either universe they choose, they would be defying somebody's orders. He then charges a Hakai in his hands, but Beerus grabs his arm. He's been waiting to finally settle this with his brother. And don't take it out on those mortals. If he wants a real fight, they could fight together. And Beerus makes a bargain with him too. If Champa ends up winning this fight, he can keep Earth permanently. Beerus will personally find the Super Dragon Balls for him, and better yet, he'll actually have Shin travel through time so he can get them sooner. He'll do all the work for Champa, and he won't ever go back on it. And to make it even better, he'll make sure the wish is permanent. Last time Champa just made a wish to move Earth to Universe 6. And Super Shenron fulfilled its duty, so that's how Piccolo was able to reverse the wish. He just moved the planet back. But Beerus will phrase the wish this time so that it's permanent. That way, no one will be able to overpower Super Shenron's power. And Champa wonders why he's making such a good deal here. Is he really that confident in his victory? And yeah, Beerus is very confident. Champa's gonna call his bluff. No matter what, he's gonna get Earth back. Beerus calls him an idiot for doing that in the first place because why not just wish for a new Earth? I mean, he has his own Namek. Just go there and get the Dragon Balls. Have his Supreme Kai make the planet or use the Dragon Balls to do so. Champa says it's too much work. He's not waiting for that. Alright, well, Champa asked for it.
Goddamn,
Beerus
lazy
knew this fight would
fuck.
happen, and Goku and Piccolo wonder if he could actually win. They know Beerus is strong, but they don't know how strong Champa is. Beerus tells them they could relax. First of all, it's disrespectful to assume that Champa would even be a challenge. But he tells them, jokes aside, he has been training. He's confident he will win this. Goku would love to step into fight too, but Piccolo says that would be a really bad idea, which is especially true because if Piccolo's saying this, being the stronger one right now, that means Goku definitely wouldn't stand a chance. They don't know what Champa's capable of, and even though they beat Jiren, who is stronger than his god of destruction, Champa could be far stronger than that. They don't know for
He's
sure.
not.
Goku, Piccolo, Granola, Broly, and the two angels watch on. Whis and Vados expect this. They just have fun with it. They put the rest of the spectators in a bubble and follow around the two gods as they begin to fight, battling across the entire universe. It's a really hard
ain't
battle
supposed
to
to
keep up
fight.
with because they're moving incredibly quick and their power is very destructive, obviously. Two destroyers fighting is insane. But as the fight continues, it becomes really clear that Beerus does have the upper hand here. He gets more and more serious, and he's really enjoying himself too. It's nice to finally go all out for once. And you know what? He tells Champa to not hold anything back. They could use all the power they want. The angels will reverse it. For the next few minutes, they don't need to worry about destroying anything. Whis and Vados breathe a sigh of annoyance. Well, that is their command, so they'll end up doing it. So Beerus and Champa hold nothing back. Everything around them starts crumbling.
That's
apart.
forbidden.
Just them speeding around the universe is enough to destroy things. The spectators look on really scared, but Whis tells them not to worry. He and Vados can reverse the next few minutes so it looks like nothing ever happened. They could actually go up to 3 minutes, but they're gonna do 2 just to be safe. For the next 120 seconds, Beerus and Champa fight all out. Although, they don't even need the full 120 seconds. 60 seconds later, Beerus ends up winning, showcasing Ultra Instinct for himself. And with that, he wins pretty easily. And he looks back at Goku. He's not the only one who's been able to use Ultra Instinct. They're all amazed. Even Vados is impressed, but we saw this coming. I mean, he was the one to train Beerus after all. A huge majority of Universe 7 is destroyed in this battle, but thankfully, it was far away from valuable planets and everything was reversed anyways. Piccolo can't believe they were just willing to destroy everything like that just for some fun. But Whis lets him know that it wasn't really for fun. They truly did need to settle the score there. Sure, it seems like Beerus is being reckless and trying to have fun, but really, he's doing this to fully stand up to his brother, and also ensure that Earth stays here. So it's for
Okay.
their sake. Beerus lets them know that he was planning on fighting Champa anyways. After losing Earth and his rival, he decided he was going to grow a lot stronger and stop being as lazy. Speaking of losing his rival though, where's Vegeta been? Oh yeah, Beerus banished him right after the tournament. And after Beerus and
That's
Champa's
funny.
fight,
So he banished this
Vegeta of
nigga.
course caught wind of it. I mean, how could he not see that? Even with the do-over, there still was a fight beforehand that did destroy some things, and it was detected out in space and he didn't know what was going on. But all he could fathom was that Beerus was fighting somebody. It must have been his twin brother, which means something happened to cause them fight. Wait a second. No, there's no way. He checks on his radar, trying to locate where Earth once was, and sure enough, it's there again. Kakarot's back. Vegeta puts back on his Saiyan armor. Finally, after all this time, he could settle the score. And he's wondering how he should do it. Should he sneak attack them and blow up the planet without them having a chance to fight back? Because part of him did want to do that. Like, there were points where he was so angry that he just wanted to destroy it and get it over with. But at the same time, he's trained so much. He wants to savor the fight. So, he heads towards Earth. He's gonna fight them normally. About a week passes. They expect Vegeta to show up at any point soon. There's no way he wouldn't have found out about this by now. And sure enough, they sense his energy getting closer and closer. Broly and Granola are here too, just because they wanted to see Vegeta defeated. Beerus and Whis are also on Earth, just watching. They're not going to get involved. This will be a good display of Goku and Piccolo's power, and plus, they haven't enjoyed the food here in so long. Naturally, they'd want to be on Earth. Vegeta lands on Earth, and comes face to face with Goku once more. Sure, he does want to enjoy the battle, but he sees no need in holding back here, and he feels he's far surpassed Kakarot by now. Really? Goku doesn't know how he could do that. In the tournament, he seemed to be far weaker. But Vegeta says he found a place where he can get a year's worth of training in a day, and he spent multiple years in there. Wait, he has his own time chamber? Oh, so they're familiar with it then. Well, no need to explain in that case. Vegeta then powers up. He goes into Super Saiyan Blue, but this time, his aura is much different and his hair takes on a darker shade. This is Blue Evolution. So, Goku and Piccolo don't hold back either. Goku goes into Blue Kaioken, and Piccolo turns orange. As the fight begins, it's clear that Vegeta is ahead of the two of them, even combined. He has grown significantly stronger. His training put him far ahead, but not enough to completely stop them. Plus, Goku and Piccolo see he has the same fighting style that he got after he became immortal. He's not holding anything back. He might not know that he's lost his immortality. They have the advantage. And Vegeta gets injured a little bit during the fights, but not enough to alert him. But at some point in the battle, he does deal enough damage to Goku to push him out of the fight for a little bit. And now he's only fighting Piccolo. But Piccolo tries to get into his head. Has Vegeta noticed something different yet? Vegeta's not sure what Piccolo means, but Piccolo tells him to pay attention closely to his injuries. Those bruises, those cuts, those fractures that he probably has too from fighting. Normally those would have healed by now, right? And Vegeta laughs it off. He's noticed this too. It's nothing. He fought a magician recently and he chalked it up to that. But he is still immortal and he's not going to let Piccolo get into his head. The only way to reverse that is if he got the Super Dragon Balls, which of course he couldn't get. They already made the wish to restore all the other universes. But then Piccolo asks Vegeta, how does he think Earth came back here? And Vegeta stops in his tracks for a second. Then he's hit by a sniper blast. Granola steps in, hitting Vegeta right in a vital point while he's off guard. He wants to help kill Vegeta too. And Broly's sent out as well. He doesn't have control over his full power yet, but he wants to help out Piccolo. And Vegeta laughs it off. Broly's not going to be able to fight here. He'll go berserk and probably kill them. But Vegeta still feels pain from that attack from Granola. Plus, now he's thinking about it more. Yeah, they would have had to have a really strong wish to come back here. But Vegeta sees what he's doing. He's trying to distract him. Kakarot's probably trying to buy time to use fusion or something like that, isn't he? Gohan's not here after all, and that's probably what he's doing. He's going to come back fused with him. No, Piccolo's not trying to play any mind games. Well, technically he is, but he isn't lying about anything. And he lets Vegeta in on a little secret. The person to win the tournament was him. He was the MVP. He was strong enough to beat Jiren. And that in turn made Shenron really strong, even though it was temporary. Strong enough to move Earth back to this universe. And strong enough to even undo Vegeta's wish. Even though he was in a completely separate universe. Hell, even a separate realm at the time because he was probably training already in the time chamber.
That is true.
Piccolo's Shenron was so powerful that that wish was possible. He tells Vegeta to just look down at his injuries. They haven't healed yet. And they're not just minor injuries anymore like small scrapes. He feels the pain from them. And they're not healing. Piccolo and Broly then attack together. Broly's in Wrathful right now, just so he can at least try and hold back his power. This way at least Piccolo can't stop him because he's stronger. If he goes Super Saiyan that would be a problem though. And Vegeta's still in disbelief. He's not immortal anymore. Piccolo's not lying. And Vegeta didn't fully defeat Kakarot. No, he's just been preparing something else in the background. A surefire way to kill him for good, even with his gap in strength right now. Vegeta was fighting pretty recklessly during the battle before. He's grown so used to being immortal that his fighting style changed. He would fight in a way that would even injure his body just for the sake of more power, and that led to him actually injuring himself here too on accident. Piccolo, Broly, and Granola keep fighting him. But then Vegeta gets a glimpse of something in the sky. A glowing ball of energy. One that he's seen before. It was many years ago, and surely it wasn't that large. But he looks over to see Goku's preparing a spirit bomb, and the second he notices this, Goku throws it. Goku's friends around Earth lend him energy, so even though people like Gohan, Krillin, Tenshinhan, and the others weren't around here, they all lended energy to him. Plus, Broly, Granola, and Piccolo did too, of course. The three others get out of the way, and the spirit bomb tracks Vegeta's evil energy. He tries to push it back, and he actually is powerful enough to struggle against it a bit, even with Goku going into Blue Kaioken and trying to push it, and even along with Piccolo helping him push it too. And as they're playing tug of war with the spirit bomb, Goku tells Vegeta he's been very fun to fight, but he can't keep things the way they are. At some point, Vegeta did have to be defeated. He was hoping Vegeta would at least change his ways somewhat, but at some point he knew that was a lost cause. It would be great if he came back as a good guy one day, but otherwise this is the end. Vegeta tells him to not get so confident. Sure, this attack's strong, and he might not be immortal anymore, but he hasn't lost the fight yet. And Goku says he's not so sure about that. He tries something that's really risky. Piccolo keeps on pushing the spirit bomb as Goku flies into it. It acted as a catalyst last time for Ultra Instinct, so maybe he could forcibly activate it once more. Piccolo thinks it's a really stupid idea and didn't know Goku was going to do this, but Goku thinks he's going to pull it off. He doesn't fall into the spirit bomb. He jumps into it, trying to control it for himself. This pushes it closer and closer to Vegeta, but the energy also gets absorbed into Goku, awakening that same power from before. There's a brilliant flash of light. The Spirit Bomb disappears, but Goku's there, flying towards Vegeta. His hair is now completely silver, and his fist is glowing with the energy of the Spirit Bomb. Vegeta sees an unavoidable death coming his way. As his life flashes before his eyes, held in the hands of his mortal enemy, a few feelings run through his head. For one, anger. At himself, not Kakarot. Everything he's worked for, every great feat he's achieved, and even with the cheat of immortality, ultimately, none of that changed a thing. But for the first time in a while, he feels something akin to respect for Goku and his allies. They faced insurmountable odds and an immortal foe, yet they kept fighting, they kept growing, and they even won. In his life, he didn't really have true connections like that. No allies like them. Raditz, Nappa, even Broly, all a means to an end. Kakarot himself is an amazing warrior, but look at this battle. It's his past sins biting him. The allegiance of Saiyans, Earthlings, a Namekian, a Cerulean, versus the elite Saiyan prince who, yes, he worked hard here, but he had his own advantages. The energy of the final attack courses through his body, as Goku punches right through him, and oddly enough, his final thoughts are something he would have never expected. He wonders how Tarbal's doing. The respect for his opponent, and the fleeting thought of a potential connection in his life, it briefly brings a smile to his face, as his body fades. As the energy flows through Vegeta's body, slowly destroying him, Goku does see this brief change. He has no clue what Vegeta's thinking, but clearly it's comforting him in some way. It's interesting seeing him express some form of contentment, and what appears to be happiness. Goku wishes he could fight Vegeta under better circumstances. Imagine if the two of them are allies, friends even. It makes him wonder if Vegeta's thinking something similar. The power of the Spirit Bomb completely overwhelms Vegeta, then causing him to explode. And finally, once and for all, Vegeta's been defeated. Actually killed this time too. Vegeta's story's over, but ours isn't quite over yet.
Okay.
Earth gets a visitor one day, and he comes to see Goku. The person visiting looks kind of like Vegeta. It's Vegeta's brother Tarbal. Goku's surprised to learn that Tarbal's a good guy, and the fact that Vegeta even had a brother in the first place. Obviously, Tarbal's known what Vegeta's been up to, and his defeat was heard about around the universe. The rest of Vegeta's army was actually defeated by Granola and Broly, taking their revenge together. Tarbal didn't necessarily hate Vegeta, but knew he was going down a dark path and couldn't be changed. He didn't want to be associated with that.
Damn.
He thanks Goku for his help. And Goku says he wasn't necessarily trying to save the universe or anything. It's just that Vegeta was a strong opponent that got in his way. And he asked Tarbal if he'd like to fight. He'd like to see what type of power Vegeta's brother has. And Tarbal reiterates that he's not
hey
really that
nigga,
strong.
nah.
That's why he was sent away in the first place. Goku just laughs at this. He's heard the same thing before about himself. He is just a low-class runt after all. And Tarbal's amazed to hear this. He grew that strong as a low-class Saiyan? Yep, and if he was able to grow that strong, he's sure Tarbal has a lot of great potential himself. After wishing for Vegeta to return as somebody good, King Yama actually did hear Goku's request. And he's going to try and reincarnate Vegeta, putting that into motion. But thankfully in the meantime, Goku did find Tarbal to appease him. And that might be a fun side quest for him. But soon enough, he'll get to face a rival like Vegeta, an actual reincarnation of him, although that's probably many years down the road. Plus, there's certain foes that have yet to appear, like a certain android that hasn't actually shown up yet. But with how strong everyone on Earth is, Cell probably isn't going to be a massive threat to them anyways. And plus, with Vegeta no longer in the scenario, well, it's a scenario about him, so we might as well end off here. What did you guys think about this story? Leave all your thoughts and ideas.
Hey, shout out to Saiyan. I like the story. I love it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out the last chapter and check out another story you might like right here. Let me know the next story you want me to react to, and yeah, I'll catch you next time. Peace.